Welcome. This is Jane Gardner, and welcome to Solopreneur Success Strategies. Today, it's World Domination Wednesday, where we always talk about the customer, how to get the customer, how to keep the customer, and who is your customer. Of course, we start with that first. We have been talking about your customer for the last few months, and I hope that you have found it useful. If you haven't been listening, you can go back to my YouTube channel on Solopreneur Success Strategies channel at jgtips.com/YouTube and have a look at all the Wednesday ones where we're trying to dominate the world of the customer. So that's why I call it World Domination Wednesday. So let's go and have a look at the training today since my voice may not hold out. So in World Domination Wednesday, it's all about your customer. But who are your customers? Well, everyone is not your customer, according to Seth Godin, and I would certainly agree. Your customer is those who want your solution to their problems, or they want your solution to fulfill their desire. There are over 3.6 billion internet users online today, and you should be able to attract those who need your solution to their desire or to their problem by learning how to do your messaging correctly, which is what Get Your Message Out Tuesday is all about on Solopreneur Success Strategies. You can go to my YouTube channel to check that out there. It's all about your brand messaging. So we've been looking at who is your customer. First, we learned how to identify your ideal customers by doing some research and knowing what they want and what you can give them and where to find your ideal customer, and also to know when and how they like to buy. You can have a look at those previous episodes on my YouTube channel at jgtips.com/YouTube if you want to learn about how to find out who is your ideal customer. Then we looked at what is the ideal customer experience as they journey through your business. And also we looked at how to convert prospects into customers, because even though you think they may not all be your customers, they may be all your customers depending on what your solution is of your product or your service. And we looked at the personality development factors model that I'm personally interested in, and how a person can have 4 personal style factors that affect them on their personality level, which also affects their buying and their selling style. And we looked at how to work with people and your customers by being aware that there are 4 different buying styles, of which each of us has one more dominant in our personality than another. And we also had a look at my sales style offer at jgtips.com/p-style. I hope to do a webinar soon on that so you can get to learn more about how to focus on your customer when you're selling, and also understanding credibility and how to identify your preferred selling style, as well as determine your customer's buying style. And then we looked at what does good customer service really mean, and what is the mindset of a customer service rock star. How can you have the customer service in your business that keeps your customers with you? We looked at how to streamline your customer service with a frequently asked questions section in your business. And as well, we're looking at the importance of customer onboarding in your sales cycle. Your customer onboarding is after purchase, of course. Now, these are some of the reasons that customers may disappear from your business. They include being unsatisfied, getting poor reviews of your business, having a lack of referrals, low sales, get confused staff, lack of metrics, and lack of feedback. These are all things that can reduce the retention of your customers after purchase. So, what is onboarding? Well, we looked at how to teach your customer how to use the product to its fullest, build a strong relationship with your customer, gather information about your customer and feedback, drive home the value of your product or service, and set clear expectations so that your customer knows what the purchase is all about. And there is a onboarding process that you should have in your business for after post-purchase. And we've been looking at the big picture and the customer's relationship management. And we'll be looking briefly at the first 30 days and how you can improve the retention of your customer. So the big picture, after the purchase, what's the big picture? What will they do with the product or service after they buy it? What was the long and short-term results from using the product or service? And how can you improve the post-customer experience so that they get to know your product or service better and are able to implement it better and keep it? So we looked at the details as well about how you're going to have a post-purchase experience, to consider how you're going to deliver your purchase, your installation, how to use, how will they know how to use it, what are the features, what is the changes in use, maintenance, problems, and benefits of your purchase, product or service, and do you have any way to know what these details are? And how do you use what platform to interact with the client? Are you going to have email? Are you going to have website? Are you going to have webinar trainings? What is the content that you'll create and when? In order to have a good post-purchase. We've had this discussion in many of the previous episodes that you can look at on my YouTube channel. And what are the points of contact that you're going to have with your customer? Are you going to have any one-to-one contact with your customers? Make a timeline and points of representation and explain what is going to happen in terms of contact with your customer. Are you going to have a newsletter? Are you going to be talking to them by email? Are you going to be phoning them and finding out if they have any issues with your product or service? So identify ways you can offer help at each point of contact with your customer in order to have them to have a good customer post-purchase experience. So you need a system to ensure all steps in your outline are performed consistently, and you need to be able to develop a way to track and implement the steps, and also how to include materials for your salespeople or your trainers so that they can also help the customers. So we're looking at a process that could be beyond the first week, the first 30 days, but your service and operations training, ensure all your team members have the same materials and that it's consistent messaging, and a checklist for your trainers in order to follow after purchase. And of course, you need the same process for all your customers. And you have to be able to measure your website metrics and your social media metrics and your customer service metrics to make sure everything is running well in your business in order to retain the customer and keep them happy. So how can you identify where you could have repeat sales, where they could either repurchase the product or service again, or they might have something that they can add on to the purchase? And you need to be able to gather feedback from your customers so that you can find out if there's anything else that they might want to purchase. So you can plan for future products and increase sales by offering products or upgrades and revisions based on the preferences of your customer, by getting feedback from them, or getting renewals or new or supplementary products, discounts on similar products or services, free upgrades of extras, all these kind of things that add benefits to the product or service for your customer. You can make additional offers through channels of communication and put together a checklist of all plans and overview of what you plan to do in the next 30 days and the next year. So you can, what do you want to do after the first month? So you need to be able to make it something that connects with the customer, make it personal. Use the metric and data you have to create targeted offers and segment your customers in terms of what they bought and their services that you might have provided to them. And you personalize your communication with info you have on your customers, whether it's just using their first name or it's being able to know what their birthday is or any other information they may have given you. You can celebrate milestones of your product or service, for example, the first-year anniversary, 6-month anniversary, or any milestones that you have of the versions of your product, product A, B, or product 2.0, making sure your customers are aware. And also you can offer online meetings to educate your customers further. So after a few months, you should be able to find that you can be able to ask for a testimonial or a social proof from your customers that are having success with your product or service. And these are important that you can put and get their permission to be able to put them onto your website or with your brochures or marketing. So you're going to strengthen your relationships by reminding the customers of the value they've received and continue to send upselling and cross-selling incentives that will either improve the product or service that they bought or are similar in the product or service that they bought. So you want to offer some exclusive offers or deals to your customers in the next 30 days and keep people in the loop with the emails or newsletter about any new products that are coming up, and give customers sneak peeks of the new products or services, whether it's in the newsletter or by email, and offer exclusive content only for your customers so that they will open it and read it about in your newsletter or your emails. You can follow and engage them on social media to make it a more personal connection for them. And certainly social media would be a place for them to ask questions. You could ask them for ideas of what maybe new product or service they might like, or offer special gifts for when they have an anniversary in terms of their purchase. Or you could create a point or certification system for those of the customers that implement and learn how to use your product or service. These are some of the ways that you can help to retain your customers by keeping them interacting with you after post-purchase. So this is called onboarding, and it's a very important part of your business because a current customer is much easier to sell a new product or service to than a prospect. They're much harder to sell to. So you want to be able to have a customer onboarding process within your business system in order to be able to get your customers to become your raving fans, of course, as well as to buy from you again and again. So thank you for listening. I think that's it for customer onboarding, and we'll look at what we're going to do next week. So thanks. This is Jane Gardner.